Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be discussing about Power BI and how to create a connection with Amazon Redshift. Nowadays, as we know, like a lot of people are moving to Amazon Redshift. So Amazon Redshift is another good option for data warehousing. So most of the people are moving to Amazon Redshift, leaving their existing data warehouse, on-premises data warehouse, and all, and they are moving into the cloud. So Amazon Redshift is another very good option for them. So today we'll be seeing that how to create a connection with Amazon Redshift, and then how to load the data and create your reports or dashboard. What do you do? We have to set up a Amazon Redshift. I hope everyone might have done that. So I'm assuming that Amazon Redshift cluster is up and running. So where you have the data, where you have the databases, and from where you can query your data. So what I'll do here, I have already created my cluster. So I'll just show you how to connect to Amazon Redshift and load data. So for that, what we will do, we'll just open Power BI desktop, which we already have here. And then I'll just connect to my options here. We have common data sources. So Amazon Redshift will come up under more. So you need to click on more here, search here, or you can just, that all these things will come up here, online services and all, or you can just search it here. So say Amazon Redshift, so you have to click on that, say connect. Okay, I'm creating a ODBC connection, so hopefully like you have ODBC connector installed. So for that I have to just update the server name. So I'll just update the server name and database name to which I want to connect, and that's all I need for now. Next thing, what you have, like you have to specify whether you want to create a import query or a direct query. I hope everyone knows that import is nothing but the data will be loaded in Power BI desktop, while direct query will be in database kind of thing, where your data will remain in the backend database or data source, means the Redshift. So your processing will happen in Redshift, and then results will be shown in Power BI. While import, what does it do? That it brings whole data into the Power BI desktop, and then the processing, calculations, everything will happen here itself. So these things you have to choose. Import is useful in such cases where you have less data, and direct query is useful in such case you have huge data volume. And since we are working with Redshift, so obviously it means that we are working on huge data volume only. I'll say okay. It is time to create a connection with the source, my Redshift cluster. Okay, and then what I'll do, I'll just enter my username and password. So username is AWS user, and then I will pass on my password. As soon as I enter my password, I'll be able to connect to my Amazon Redshift cluster. So this way I will be able to load data, all my facts table, all my dimension tables and all that. Okay, here you have this public database. Under that I have these many facts and dimension tables here. Here you see the category tables, date table, events, listing, sales is a fact table, users, venue. So what I'll do, I can select any of these tables and load them into Power BI desktop. So I'll just select sales for now. Okay, so here you see that it is trying to read the data. It is going to show you that here you have sales ID, list ID, event ID. Here you can see, so all the columns are numerical. That's the reason you can check it out, that it is a fact table. Then I have this category table, which is having all these columns. Let's check this out. Okay, so category table is having category ID, cat group, cat name, cat description. So here we have the category ID column. Okay, then I have this sales table where I have list. Okay, we have to check that which table can get us the result, so we don't have any matching in this. So what, the same way you have to be aware that what all data tables can be matched together, what all table will have like their existing columns, existing fields which can be matched together. So this is one thing which you should be very, very aware of. Okay, so without this you will not be able to work on any kind of requirements. That's a predefined thing that you should have good understanding on your data. So here you have this users table. If I click on that, then we will see all the columns here. So here I have user ID, username, state, phone, all these things. Okay, so these are all the important information what we have. So we'll just check it out, all the tables, and then we will load any one of the tables here. So here we have this venue ID and so on, just 3 or 4 columns only in this. So if I select sales ID, list ID, seller ID, and buyer ID, event ID, let's check it out, the event table also. So here we have event ID and venue ID. So what we can do, we can use event, venue, and sales. For now I'm just going to load these 3 tables. Okay, so say load, you can just say transform data also if you want to. So you can say directly, you can go to the Power Query basically here. So directly there you can transform if you want to do that. So, but I don't want to do any transform for now. I just want to load as data as it is. So just click on load. So once if you click on load, the whole data set of sales, venue, and event will be loaded. Now as we know, we have venue ID, event IDs, all these IDs available in the sales table. So we will be able to create a relationship between them, and relationship like are required in if you want to create dashboard, multi-table dashboard where you want to utilize all the columns coming from different tables and so on. So that's a very basic requirement if you are working on a real-time dashboard. So this will take some time, and once it is done, we'll start on the report. So it's done. So data is loaded. Here we are. So we have this event, sales, and venue table completely loaded, and we can check it out here. So here you see this table loaded. So 8798 rows, event table, sales table, 172,000 rows, 1.7 million rows, which is the biggest table, and then venue table 202 rows. So this way what will happen, we will be able to relate them. So now we have this relationship here. So auto relationship is created, and now we are good to start our reporting. So for that, let's say I want to do some kind of analysis. Let's say I have these columns. Let's say event, venue ID, and venue. So let's say venue city. Okay, so I have just given a venue city just to give you a small example. That's all, nothing much here. So we can do a lot of things if we want to do. And sales table, we have buyer ID, date, quantity sold. Let's say I'll make it as Alexis. So this way, like if you just to help you understand, I was able to get this thing, and under event ID I have venue ID, event ID. If I want to event name, I can put this as a legend if I want to. Okay, so here you see. So if you just notice that using these 3 different tables, I just created a small visualization. Like this, we can do any kind of requirements, any kind of dashboarding as per our business requirements. So this is how like we can load data coming from Amazon Redshift. We can create data model, we can create relationship between them. If it is not created automatically, you can just say manage relationships and then say new relationship by yourself. Okay, it's all up to you. Okay, so this is very important concept. Like if you are new to Power BI and you want to learn Power BI connecting to different data sources and all, Redshift is very useful and popular nowadays. A lot of people are looking for Amazon Redshift. They are moving their data warehousing to Redshift and other places also, but Redshift is among the leaders in the market. So hopefully like you might have liked this video, and if you have liked this, please comment, share, and share it with your peers, your colleagues, so that they can also learn something new. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.